Hi guys, what is today's date? September 28th. An amazing day. It is midnight, my time, 12:19 actually. I come on here because I got some pretty exciting news. But before I do, I'm going to read you a couple articles because there's a lot of ground to cover. Today, since it is the 28th, today what is going to happen is Barack Obama is going back to Denmark. And I'm going to read to you some of this. And everything that I'm going to talk about today will be posted in my description box. And it says, and this is Obama going to Denmark once again on the exact same day, 1 year apart. And now the former U.S. president has announced he will be flying down to host a conversation with President Barack Obama, an event hosted by Aalborg's Musicians Hus on Saturday, September 28th, where he would discuss leadership and entrepreneurship of the future. Why would he be talking about this unless somehow, some way he comes back onto scene? He has a lot to do with the end time plays, so don't think that he's out of the question, because he's still in, even though he's not in. The audience will mainly be from the business community. The ticket, well, I'm not reading all that. Okay, I'm going to go back down. Respect galore. President Obama is one of the very select group of people who I look up to the most, and so I am very much looking forward to meet him, the CEO told BT. He used his powerful office to make the world a better place and is one of the most respected leaders worldwide, he added. I do not doubt for a moment that this will be a new climax for Aalborg and the whole of northern Jutland, says Thomas Kastrup Larson's Aalborg's mayor. I am pleased that one of the world's most distinguished personalities sees the potential in visiting Aalborg and sharing his vision. Coincidentally, the Muscins Hus event is being held exactly 1 year after Obama's last visit to the University of Southern Denmark in Kolding, which also took place on September 28, 2018. And that same day, if you subtract 3 years, it was the blood moon. And also September 28th today of 2015 was the very first time I spoke in tongues. And I spoke for, I'd say, a good 20 minutes or so for the very first time, and it was very powerful. My husband got to witness it. So I find this very interesting about today, and then tomorrow beginning Rosh Hashana. Okay, there's been a lot of talks about Trump being impeached. Okay, this is something that I don't like talking about because it's anything that deals with any presidential leader, there's a lot of opinions about things versus what the Bible says about things. So when it comes to politics, I really don't care about talking about them. But I'm going to read you skim through these articles because I'm going to be having everything posted. And this was on the Los Angeles Times. As soon as President Trump learned that he was facing an impeachment investigation on Tuesday, he appended his meetings with world leaders near the United Nations and rushed to a soaring skyscraper a few blocks away in Midtown Manhattan. Then, back in his penthouse at Trump Tower, he sought solace at his favorite place, in front of a TV with his Twitter account in hand. By Friday, as the crisis I can't even pronounce that word, metastasized with cascading disclosure about Trump's requests for Ukrainian authorities to investigate his political foes and allegations that the White House tried to lock down the evidence, the president was still grasping for a strategic response. Other than issuing a slew of angry tweets, he stayed out of the public eye until an evening event with Hispanic supporters in the East Room. One administration official described the president as shell-shocked by the sudden political gut punch, even as he insisted the impeachment fight will help him win. re-election next year by rallying his base and angering independents. Well, he's got his thinking wrong. I think he's badly wounded right now, said a Trump campaign advisor who is in a frequent contact with the president, one of several aides who spoke on condition of anonymity to discuss internal discussions. I'm suddenly very worried about 2020. I'm going to stop there. Well, no, I'm going to read one more and then I'm going to stop. A senior White House advisor, Kellyanne Conway, said Trump didn't need the kind of war room that President Clinton deployed while battling impeachment 2 decades ago. He's the most battle-tested person I've ever met. Why do we need an impeachment war room when the other people should have the burden of showing why they're impeaching the president? Okay, it was all over a phone call and allegations and things like that. Now, I see this as going two ways. Either the only way he's going to be kept from impeachment is there's going to be a war, and or he gets impeached and okay, there's two analogies I guess after this. There could be a deadly head wound and he comes back 3 days later, which is, in Daniel 11, or it's talking about he shall be taken out but for a few days, but not in anger and in battle, and a vile person shall step in his place as when the beast enters him. That's a thought. Or simply someone else will step in and rule while he's not, no longer in office. Either way this goes, it's prophecy in the making. And I know through what the Bible tells me, what's going to happen. I'm going to keep that stuff to myself because all it does is quarrelsome. Now, I'm going to read you something that is very fascinating and I'm extremely excited about. So, my best friend and I, Carly Smith, Princess Carly, where I was texting her, I said, we're all basically getting cold feet, waiting on Jesus to return. It's almost like people are saying, oh no, it's not this year, it's going to be many years from now. You don't know what you're talking about, it's all hogwash and da-da-da-da-da. And the thing about that is that it's not hogwash, and that he is coming, and that these prophetic events, we were given a time frame for us to watch, to wait, so our lamps don't go out like the 5 foolish virgins did. Okay? So then I started talking to her and she's all like, oh my gosh, look what I just seen. So she sent me this 1-minute video. It's a new channel, never heard of her before, but I watched her and I'm extremely shocked. I was like, oh wow, I completely forgot about that. And it is, goodness gracious, my husband's watching TV. That was freaky. Okay, so has anybody ever heard of Rabbi Kaduri? Okay, he's been obviously a rabbi, and there's been prophetic things that have occurred. When Angel died, these manuscripts weren't supposed to be open for a year later, or it was left to him. But anyways, I'm going to read you this, and I'm excited. Okay, amongst the many other events that have taken place this year all over the world, pointing to the return of Jesus for his church, a stunning revelation has taken place in Israel. Okay, we all know that the sacrifice happened yesterday at 10 a.m., which was very sad. I mean, I bawled watching it. Like, I was holding my breath because that's such an abomination to God. Like, Israel, you do not know what you just did. You spat in God's face. Jesus was the ultimate sacrifice. He was the ultimate lamb. There's no more that needs to happen. But we're bringing in the Noahide laws. So therefore, they're going back into, they're going back under the covenant, which, there's going to be beheadings and stuff. And they're recognizing Islam as the religion. So anyways, I'm going to continue. Rabbi Yitzhak Kaduri predicted in a manuscript from the 90s that during this Israeli election of 2019, there would be an impasse in the election, causing Israel to be without a government for an extended time. Okay, Malachi 4:9. If you guys haven't read that, I will read it to you here shortly. And this article just came out 3 days ago. And the reason I know that this is true, because I've read Rabbi Kaduri's stuff, and John and I have done studies, and he's done videos, and lots of other people have too, as well as Judah ben Samuel's prophecies and things. So this stuff isn't like just man-made. It's not opinions. It's like God using these men for today. All right. On the eve of the year 5780, the upcoming Hebrew year, the year of corrections, there will not be a government in Israel for an extended period, and the various camps will be quarrel much without a decision on either side. Okay, which is exactly what's happened now. Israel is without a leader right now. They're supposed to be forming a coalition, or there's been a lot of, I've been reading so much about it, talks about how there might be another election, a third election. No, right now they are left without a leader because the Antichrist, the Messiah, is the one that is going to rule for them. Okay, so that is what they're waiting on. And then on Rosh Hashana, the Jewish New Year, because that's what Rosh Hashana is, okay, itself, they will fight in heaven and the holy side against the side of evil, and God and his entourage will decide between them. And this is all I can say, and from here I swore not to reveal more secrets and hidden things. Kaduri also predicted there will come on the day that two ministers win the government in the land of Israel. Both their names will be Benjamin, and neither of them will succeed in establishing their government or kingship. Wow. Perhaps more stunning, Rabbi Kaduri quoted from the ancient book, The Covenant of the Persimmon, by Kabbalist Rabbi Sasson Hai Shoshani, known as the Prophet of Egypt. Shoshone said that Messiah would arrive during Rosh Hashanah, September 29th through October 1st. On that day, know and understand that the King Messiah already stands at the doorway, and on the Sabbath afterwards he will come and be revealed, and understand this and remember it. Apparently, a yeshiva in Israel has many manuscripts by Rabbi Kaduri with the name of God and similar things that we are keeping in a safe. These are things that are passed from generation to generation in secret only between the Kabbalist, and it's forbidden to reveal them. In these ancient writings, Rabbi Shoshan Hai Shoshani writes that right before the coming of the Messiah, they won't be able to form a government. Writings similar to these have also been known by the companion of Rabbi Kaduri, Rabbi Menachem Menashe, the author of Ahavkevkem. He writes concerning the end of days. They will consist of a war with the rabble, will be the majority in the round of elections. The Jewish Telegraphic Agency stated that in a meeting that took place between Benjamin Netanyahu and Kaduri in 1997 on their shared birthday, Netanyahu whispered to the rabbi that left-wing people have forgotten what it means to be Jewish. Wow, that's powerful. And you know what's even more powerful? Is in Daniel chapter 9. Okay. Verses 24. I'm going to read you this, and 25. 70 weeks are determined for your people in your holy city. Okay. 70 weeks, 70 Shavuots. All right. 70 years. Okay. To finish the transgression, to make an end of sins, to make reconciliation for iniquity, to bring in everlasting righteousness, to seal up vision and prophecy, and to anoint the most holy. If you go from the establishment, okay, Israel became a nation May 14th, 1948. And the decree went out November 29th, 1947. Okay? That's those years, the 70 years has passed, right? But anytime that there is any type of decree or any law that is made, it does not go into effect until the following year. Okay, so that is the same thing that goes for Israel. So you have to go off the year 1949. Okay, now if we look at Rosh Hashana, which is the beginning of the new year, we are ending the year 5779. Okay, which is the 70th year end from 1949 to September 30th. October 1st is 70 years. That would begin the 71st year because that is the beginning of the year. Okay, and God says there are 70 years. And then after the 69, or that he shall be cut off, but not for himself, right? And the people of the prince that is to come shall destroy the sanctuary. And the end of it shall be with the flood, war and desolations. And in the midst of his term, he's going to wipe away the covenant. Well, there has been no revealing of the covenant, no revealing of this peace treaty. Why? Because the Antichrist has not stepped in as of yet, and the rapture has not happened. The rapture has to happen. There's going to be a war, and then it's either going to be a war and rapture, and then the Antichrist steps in to reveal this covenant, or it's going to be the rapture, war, and then the revealing. And it can go either way because we prophesy in part and we understand in part. So it's not like any of us have all the answers. I know I don't. But I can tell you right now that we are ending our year. We are ending all the prophetic events that God said is going to happen within the 70 years. And Jesus is coming. Many have said Sunday, many have said Monday, but I'm telling you, I believe with all of my heart that it is any moment, any time, and any day. I do not know the day or hour, but Rosh Hashanah looks very, very promising. I mean, it could be tonight, it could be tomorrow, or it could be Monday. I mean, it could be a couple weeks from now, it could be 40 days from now. I don't know. I'm just saying that what I feel in my hearts of hearts, that this is it. This is the last of the last. And Jesus said that he is going, come at the last trump. The trump of God. Was it 1 Corinthians 15? Let's see. I had this all. Let's see. 1 Corinthians 15. Right here. Behold, I tell you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trumpet. And if I'm correct, that they blow 100 trumpet sounds. They blow the horn, ram's horn, 100 times. And on the 100th time, it's the longest time. Like they hold it for a long period of time as they blow it, because it's the ending. And it says, for then the dead will be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. For this corruptible must be, put on, and this mortality into immortality. I know that if you are a Christian and you are saved, that we no longer have a body of sin. Though we still live here, we still sin, but we are not judged by our sins. We are judged by our heart for God. And what Israel is doing, I'm going to tell you, is verse 56. The sting of death is sin, and the strength of sin is the law. So they're going to twist this law into making it their own. They're thinking that they are bringing back the covenant of Noah. And even the Pope has tried to get everybody to sign in of humanity, this humanity law for globalization, basically into the New World Order. They're all in on it, and we're out of time. So just pray over this as always, and God bless.